me don't reach their full potential. Young black suffering inside their mental. In silence, in silence. Whoa, I do believe that somebody watching.
What's up, guys? So this is a very special episode for me. Well, this is one of the reasons why I started House of Soul. It's because there's a lot of musicians that go underappreciated, you know. A lot of musicians go too much under the radar, and this is one of the reasons why I started House of Soul. And this guy right here, guys, like I'm not even trying to gas him or anything, but like this is my role model right here, guys. So like, yeah. Everybody, this is Kimosabe SA, one of the best R&B musicians in the country that we have, that we will have. So yeah, I mean, when you were growing up, you know, other people like you are to me what John Cena was to many kids. You know, like Lil Wayne, John Cena. That was the thing. So yeah, this is I think I've lost count. I think this is number 9 because like I've been working a lot. I think this is episode 9 of the breakdown. This is Legends Corner, Gold Corner, where we appreciate the greats. And I remember the first time I talked to you. It was I think on SoundCloud. I think a few years ago. It was on SoundCloud. I remember clearly. It was SoundCloud. Right. Yeah, I was like, I wanted to ask your opinion on my song. You never got back to me, but it's okay. No, you replied. You know. You replied, and then the follow-up message you didn't. But then we also talked on Twitter and Facebook. So like, yeah, you were always like, you know, open and welcoming and shit like that. How are you doing, bro? I didn't ask.
Hey, man. I can't complain. You know, just like you know, keeping busy.
Yeah.
Doing work stuff. Yeah, I just finished the recording session.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, yeah, man, I'm chilling, man. You know, God is good. Yeah.
And
that's what's up.
So I'm just gonna start.
And what about you?
I'm good.
How's it?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good. Yeah.
Where you based, bro? Like where you at right now?
I'm based in Joburg, in the south. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, dope. Oh, okay, cool. So you're here, man.
Yeah, I'm here.
You know, these keep in mind, like I think this is like my second ever time using Zoom. So with yesterday I also had to like figure that out. You know, like how do you use this thing?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean anyway, yeah, you were still saying, bro.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna start on a lighter note. I'm just gonna talk about Good Guys, you know, the song.
Sure.
Because I'm gonna go back in front, you know, because I'm not sure if a lot of So with Good Guys, like for me, those are one of the songs where I know all the lyrics. Like I can sing it right now. I can say all the words, especially the second verse, because it was it hits deep because I've been in those situations. Like especially at the time when you were releasing it, you know, I was going through bad. Hey, bro. Hey, we're getting played back then. We're getting played back then. So like with Good Guys, like did you go through it or you were just writing it, you
know? So like with Good Guys, I'm trying to think of like what the context was. Superman died, at the time of writing it, I don't think I was. No, I wasn't like going through it. But I guess it had been it came from somewhere, you know what I'm saying? I've been through that, man. You know, it's part of growing up, and that was just like my sort of interpretation of that unfortunate event in every man's life.
Yeah,
you know.
And I like how you guys carried over the what you did in Lindway, because it's like a continuation of that song, you know. This is just a more what do you call it, more melodic one or something like that. So
right. No, I feel what you're saying.
Yeah. And then I remember years ago when I was reading about Nights Volume 1, according to an old Slicker article, like you used to be, in his own words, or maybe the writer's own words, used to be an angry, troubled rapper who turned to an R&B singer. Yes.
Right.
So he used to be a rapper. And then the last week, no, this week actually, on Wednesday, I recorded an episode with some of the rising R&B stars right now, Nana, Leo Brennan. So I had an interview with them, and we also talked about how when you're growing up, like being a
Yeah.
singer doing R&B was like not fancy, When you said you want to sing, people were like, you're soft, it's feminine, you're not cool. What was that a thing you grew up with, like that maybe made you go into rap first before you go into R&B? Like, did you go through it?
Um, so the R&B thing actually came after the rap thing. I like to say I evolved into the R&B thing, and for some reason, like rap folks kind of get offended by that sentiment, and I totally get it. But this is to say that, like, look, man, what I mean is, so at the time when I was rapping, I'm sure you're aware, I was also like experimenting with like singing my hooks and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So the decision to, like, go full on R&B was just based off of, I wanted to do more of that. I wanted to experiment because, like, I can rap, I can write and put in there. I want to do something with that requires more technical, ability, because like with rapping there were certain things I could get away with, you know what I'm saying? In terms of, not necessarily in terms of content, but just like, like you can be offbeat a little bit, this, that, and third. But when it comes to like doing, it's like entering into a new realm. It's like just the same as if I decided to do maybe rock or something like that. I'd have to acquaint myself with all the nuances of the genre, and sort of what's the word I'm looking for? I'd have to I'd have to go through the, what you call this thing, the trials of that genre in order to become it. But then also, man, the idea to quit rapping was because I got sick of motherfuckers always talking about, yo, you gotta rap in vernac, whatever. I'm like, you know what? Here's the thing with like rapping in vernac and just the whole vernac thing, although it's an old argument. It's like, in retrospect, I'm like, yeah, but I mean, that wasn't like how I grew up. I didn't grow up on Kwaito. I didn't grow up on, so if I decide now to, you know what I'm saying, but I digress. I decided to do the singing thing just because I wanted to do more of the hook stuff I was doing and challenge myself. That's the word. Yeah.
For like ahead. A long time, you are one of the few R&B soul, one of the few that really did it like that. And that's why I think I became such a huge fan, because all of the people that I listened to at the time were international. And then you came along, there was, our light first started with Bet It All, and I was like, okay. And then I think I listened to a house song, but like you did a lot of house back then, and I think you still also do it, So tell me more about your background in house. Did you do it before R&B started?
Hey bro, may I believe in honesty, right? Honesty is the best policy. I did house for the money, because like everything else, check it out. Like, I mean, granted, it was like, but I mean, that's why I did it. It was like for the cash, so that I could like feed into my things. But but like with me, I've always been a hip hop guy. So much so, I was like one of those hip hop guys that were like, it's hip hop or nothing. You can't have hip hop and house. You know what I'm saying? So it was like that up until I got into the game, and then with the singing thing, it allowed me to get into more things. Don't get me wrong, like, I mean, I respect like house music and I enjoy it sometimes, but that's not my genre. It's just something that I did, because I could, and you know what I'm saying. But I don't have a house background.
Like I also kind of grew up like that, because believe it or not, I used to be one of the biggest hip hop heads, like for real, like when people talk about hip hop now, like they don't have the same passion I used to have. Like back then, people used to laugh at us and call us abo nigga, or hip hop boys. We used to sag our pants, We used to read Hype
Capture the
magazine,
bag,
the Plug
you know.
magazine, Babes. Like we used to live that culture, and like it's crazy how we've totally transformed into R&B fanatics, you know. But like, and I'm actually glad because we're kind of also helping grow our R&B industry also, you know. I remember this is a story I've always wanted to know. I remember when you were doing nights too, right?
Yeah.
Dropped a few songs, dropped a few songs, and then you posted a picture where you were in the boardroom. And I think the picture of Nights Volume 2 was there and said listening session, right? So in the boardroom and everything's going well. Yeah, everything's going well. And then so you released a few songs in preparation. And then afterwards, on release day, okay, cool. Just no great day. Check on my phone and check everywhere. There's nothing. There's this other guy. He's a colored guy. I'm not sure if you know him, but like he's also like a huge fan. So me and him used to talk sometimes, and then he also texted. He actually texted me. I was like, "Dude, did Kim release the project?" I was like, "No, I checked everywhere." He also checked everywhere, and then okay, the EP was not there. So went on your Twitter account, just deleted. I didn't have Instagram then, so I don't know if he had deleted that too. But then, so me and him went back and forth, and then he decided, you know what, he's gonna call the label. So from the morning, it was like calling the label, calling them, and then finally somebody picked up. A lady picked up, white lady picked up, and then the lady picked up, and she was actually very surprised that you know somebody was calling in the asked for Kimo. And then, so this lady was so surprised, and then she listened a while, and then she just dropped it. And then my guy called, I think, a few times afterwards, but then there was no response. And then it was like, he told me what happened, and then I was like, you know what, let me go to Facebook. So I went to Facebook, I DM'd your brother, and I think after a few hours, he was like, okay, so Kim was okay, he's going through some shit right now, and yeah. So that was the story. Before we even talk about that period of events, I want to know what the label had promised you, what they promised you, why you joined them at the time that you joined them, because I feel like you were also kind of doing very well for yourself, you know. Like if I look back in those days, I mean, you have a lot of house songs that were good. You know, I even saw a track with Mac G back then in the days, you know.
Yeah,
Like
with the
you
video
kind
and
of you
all.
enjoyed it. So what did they promise you?
Yeah.
Why did you join them? Before we even go into that day.
You know what, dog? Like, it, well, you know what it was.
Yeah.
They reached out. Wait, no, let me think about it. So it wasn't a matter of anything that they necessarily offered me. I just felt like, you know, it was the right place for me at the time. When, because they approached me, like I was the one who was, you know, I'm not the one who had to like, you know, go knocking on doors. So that already felt like, you know, the right thing, the right way to kick things off for me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, to answer that question, there wasn't anything offered other than, you know, just that reaching out. You know what I'm saying?
So now going to that day. So can you please tell us the events that happened, you know, before, you know, on the day, you deleting your socials, the EP not going out?
So you know what it was?
Yeah.
My time with Gresham, you know, in retrospect, as I look back, it was one of those moments that taught me, you know, that, hey man, like, check yourself, you know, attitude wise. You know, let me put it to you like this, in not so many words. I feel like during my time at Gresham, we could have probably done like, you know, some dope shit. You know what I'm saying? But my mind at the time was not in the right place. No, my attitude was not in the right place. And you know, I learned this obviously through my own experiences and realizing that, you know what, this, that, and the third. But leading up to those events, there was just a whole mess on my side of like, what can I say? I can't remember fully like what happened that time, but all I can tell you is, as Landila told you, I was like going through some shit like during that period of time, just because of like, a lot of personal shit that unfortunately seeped into my work, and everything was affected. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened that day.
Finally I got to know. And in the
Yeah.
lead up to the project, you released quite a few songs like Pray For Me, Pretty Woman, Setting Sun, More Than You, For Life, and Someone Else. And now these ones were not in the Nights 2 that you released. Was it because of maybe red tape or something, because you had released it under the label that you couldn't put it into your project, or you just felt that they didn't fit into the project? And also, I'd like to say that also you had released a snippet of You'll Never Know while you were still, in that process. So
Right.
how did you get to release You'll Never Know, if maybe there was red tape or something like that?
So what I can tell you is, so first of all, with those songs that were released, you're correct in that those were songs that were released during my time with the label, and then I'd released Nights Volume 2 shortly after I was no longer with the label. And I guess it's a combination of all those things. Like, I didn't want to initiate any red tape if there was any, which there probably was. And at the same time, I'd worked on this like new music, from start to finish. And I felt like, it's its own thing. It needs to be its own thing. And it was recorded in a certain space, which it can't share with that other stuff, I guess, legally, as well as also just like sonically. You get what I'm saying? So I had actually I was recording Nights Volume 2 during my time with Gresham up until the termination. So between that time. And it's because that was stuff that, I mean, like all my stuff I record by myself, like in my studio, so I was never like what I'm saying, issue as such. It's just with the other tracks, since they were released directly through, the label, there was a different sort of set of rules.
And afterwards, you're still kind of in that bad space, because I remember you released a remix of I think Sad by X. I think it was Sad by X and another sad lo-fi songs. I remember, even the writer of the article was like, it sounds like it's going through some shit. This is not really what you would expect from him, because I remember those two songs.
The funny thing with those songs is like they were not intended to, like, you'll notice I didn't even like post them, or I don't know if I did, probably didn't. But yeah, bro, it was just that thing of like, venting in a way that I knew that like there's gonna be folks on SoundCloud that maybe I was counting on, 1 to 10, maybe 1 to 5 people maybe coming across it and just being like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even know there was like an article or anything like that, which is crazy. So man, it's just like I was going through it, bro, for a long time. It was a combination of things, man, bad decisions and that sort of thing, and being around the wrong people, you know what I'm saying? And but that's what that was.
And there was a few songs that you released in different timelines though. Okay, there was For Life, which was, back then, when you were which was released, For Life, and then there was Weird, which is in Weird, which was in Nights Volume 2. Now in these songs you were talking about commitment, having children, and all that serious stuff, you don't care, let's just go to the office. You don't need to have a suit or much things. Let's just go married and do it, let's have kids, and have
Yeah.
babies with our faces. Also going into Bylwansta's discography, well, Gray. First of all, I would like to ask, where is Gray? Because for like 2 years now, I've been looking for that song and it's nowhere to be found. Like it's nowhere to be found, and that's a great song.
No, I agree with you, man. Hey, the person who would best be able to answer that question for you is, by Louis himself, because I too have no idea. But from my understanding, I don't know if it's like a clearance issue or something like that. But yeah, that's all I know. I don't know if it's still on SoundCloud. I
No,
haven't checked in
it's
a
gone.
while.
Yeah.
Oh, then I don't know. I'll have to find out from him
Ah,
as well.
dude. Send
Like
me
the
an
whole
MP3,
project,
Yana.
the whole project not there, like on SoundCloud.
No, the whole
Yeah.
project is there, missing that one song, you know.
Ah, then I
And that
don't
was
know.
like
I'm gonna have
one
to.
of the main songs of the project.
Oh, I think I know why, but you'll definitely have to ask him about that.
Okay,
Yeah,
can you at least send me the MP3?
I'll ask him if he's got it. He probably does. Yeah,
Cool.
no, I'll check for him. Yeah.
Yeah. So also in that song, when he was talking about it, I think it was maybe the pamphlet of You're Absolutely Right, or it was an interview. I don't know which one it was. We talked about how
Hmm.
how you guys were both in committed long-term relationship, interracial relationships. Matter. Let's not talk about that. I want to know, are you still in that long-term committed relationship from back then, or that was just a long time ago? And did you eventually, get committed, to all that, get
Oh,
married, have kids?
no, so like you see songs like For Life and all that kind of stuff, those are songs gay where it's just like not necessarily you know what it is, the hyperboles of I love you so much that I commit to you, that kind of thing. But the truth is, bro, man, first of all, I hate kids. Secondly, I'll be damned if I ever get married. I don't believe in marriage, just as a concept.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just like, that's just that. And then the other thing was, no, I'm not in that relationship anymore. I'm in a new relationship
Oh, okay.
with the money. Yeah.
Oh,
uh, but
Please.
yeah, bro, like, that's life, bro. It's like, you get
Mm,
in relationships and then you get out of relationships. And then
yeah.
you eventually find the money and you realize that all along that's what you should have been chasing.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm,
What
yeah.
happened to the Deezer, your part in the Deezer Next series? Because okay, there was the 17-minute video, and then there was like the separate videos, and then you talked and
Yeah.
you discussed everything. Was it just that, just the video? Was there more to it? Was there follow-ups to it? What happened with that?
Uh Yo, I don't know, bro. To be honest with you, man, like
Uh,
what I can tell you is this. The Deezer Next thing was essentially like where they select an artist and then they find something that'll help your brand. Let's say
yeah.
in my case, with the label, we came to the agreement of doing like these live videos, right?
Yeah.
Which is fine and everything. It's just that they didn't, as far as they didn't do what w- we were hoping they would do in terms of like reach and like
Yeah.
impact and that kind of thing, but yeah, that was essentially what that was supposed to be,
Yeah.
so I guess on our part we didn't manage to like successfully capitalize on it, or maybe they did behind the scenes, but
Yeah.
that's what I know about that.
Yeah.
you know
You're also a producer too, right? You're also a producer, Kimosabe Productions. You produce a lot of beats. Also with the Betsy Roll song, you produced it. And also Tides. I think you also
Mm.
produced that one. Like you produced a lot of the music that you do. And also you produce
Yeah.
for a lot of other people now. What would you say is your top five favorite songs you produced that are not yours?
That are not mine, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, well, hang on. Let me I'm just checking on my
Yeah.
playlist here on Spotify real quick, so I can give you a precise answer because I do have something on the top of my head,
Yeah.
but I guess Bet It All is definitely in the top three. I
Yeah.
listened to it recently and I was like, yeah, that's a
Ooh.
dope beat. And the thing is, with being a producer, right? Like, I'm even with as far as the music that I listen to, like my taste is heavily dictated by the production of the song, So, damn, okay, I guess I went to the wrong folder. Let's try here. Basically, okay, that but not by me, nah.
Yeah.
Not for me. Hang on. I do like Party Next Door, the beat, but that's the latest one. No, best beat is Trust and Believe. I did for DJ Voodoo.
Yeah.
That's one of the okay, that's top two. Then there's a track by I don't know if you're familiar with Party Next Door, the song, not the artist.
Not
It's with
sure.
Gigi Lemaine and Shabzi
Damn.
Medallion. That's another one that I
You're very
did.
working, bro.
Yeah, always, bro. And then This Can't Be Live. That was also like a
Oh yeah.
unique
Yeah.
beat. Uh, Feels, by Thato Feels.
Yeah.
Shout out Thato Feels. Kimosabe Productions, bro. It's like so it's my production house, but it's also like, my label that
Okay.
I'm, currently operating with. So that's where I'm currently signed along with Thato Feels,
Yeah.
you know. So there's that. But did I give you five?
Yeah. I think you gave me
Uh
about 4 or 5.
then I guess and then Find a Way by DJ Radix,
Oh yeah.
which I featured on. Yeah, so those are my top that I can find at the top of my head. Yeah, some of my favorites because it's also like different genres and like,
Yeah.
dope shit.
You just
Yeah.
reminded me of This Can't Be Live. I can't believe I forgot that song. Like, yo, that was a great song. Yeah. And
No, I
then
appreciate it, man.
you also worked on idols. You also worked with idols. I remember you once produced for contestants for in one of the later stages. How many times have you worked with idols? Was that the first and only time, or there's been more times? And which contestants were they?
So I did the song for uh Tato, who was also an Idols, not
Yeah,
Tato Fields, but
yeah,
Idols Tato, Blow by Blow.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I wrote that and produced it. The version that you hear though is not like my final version. I don't
Uh,
know, they decided to play like drums and other stuff on there, but I mean, it
mm,
still sounds okay, I guess. Uh, yeah, I did that with them, and yeah, that's about it
yeah.
with idols.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then talking about idols and Kimosabe Productions, like what is your main
yeah.
source of income? I think everybody would like to know this. Like in the These Are Next thing, you also talked about how it's either music or farming, you talked about that.
Oh no, you know what that was? That was like it's either this shit works out or I'm there in the farm.
Yeah.
That's the alternative. So, the point was not to go back. But I mean, as far as income, bro, hey, man, I'm a hustler. That's how I get by.
Yeah.
And naturally, with this, when I say I'm a hustler, not like the what Oxford Dictionary version that is to say like drugs and shit. Nah, I just
Yeah.
know how to get by. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And with this, when you're in this game, you need to be able to finance the shit because it's a business, right?
Mm.
A lot of guys, me being one of them in my earlier years, sort of
Yeah.
like they get caught in that fantasy that you're gonna be so good or you're so good that the money will just find you. You know what I'm saying? Which is true, but you're still gonna have to, work for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whether it's like a 9 to 5 or whatever. Like I've never had a job,
Yeah.
if that's what you were tried to ascertain. But yeah, bro, yo, I'd be a terrible employee. That much I tell you. I can't imagine myself as an employee. Like,
Yeah.
not that, like I said, hey, fucking 2021 is so sensitive. Niggas can't even say anything. But like,
Yeah.
no, not that there's anything wrong with being an employee or anything. But just me personally, I've never had the privilege of
Yeah.
being employed. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But yeah, I get my money here and there, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the recent years, like you kind of changed your sound from being a soul, like heavily influenced soul, to more maybe urban, dance-ish and more open R&B. Don't
Yeah.
you ever feel like maybe you might have ostracized your main core, the core of your fan base, by the change of sound?
You know what, nah? Funny you should mention that. Well, hey man, music is about evolution, right? And the
Uh,
thing is, whether the music is not necessarily as the way that you described it, it's still good. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? And it's taken. I understand that, I'm aware of the urban sort of more R&B sort of approach to it.
uh,
And I'll tell it to you like this. So as Kimosabe, I myself am also like a fan of my shit. Like,
yeah.
if you were to ask me what I listen to, like on a daily, I'm gonna listen to my shit. Like,
Yeah.
not because I'm like actively seeking, but it's because I think it's so good that I crave to hear more of it. You
Mm,
know what I'm saying? And the fan in me, um, you know, really enjoys the hell out of this new Kimosabe music that's coming out, because like,
mm,
another thing is, bro, it's not too far off from like what I used to do, or the old stuff or whatever, because like, my thing has always been about versatility. You know what I'm saying? I'm the guy who went and did a rap song there, and then and then the next project is, it's
mm,
got this kind of track and everything, and that's always been my shit with my music. It's never been, and it'll never be about one type of sound where it's like, oh, okay, this nigga's gonna sound like this in the whole project. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah.
I like variety. Variety is the spice of life. You know
Mm,
what I'm saying? And I'm not a niche artist, bro. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
I make what I like. You know what I'm saying? And I and just I wouldn't even be able to tell you what that old stuff was, bro. Like, that they're referring to, or where would I even start? Because it's
Mm,
like, I've just evolved like so many times over the years. Because keep in mind, I'm a person who releases music every year. You know
mm,
what I'm saying? So I'm always gonna have to evolve, and that's why I'm still here.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? So to those that feel ostracized, like, the options are always like, you can rock with the new shit and like let it grow on you, because at its core it's still chemo.
yeah.
Or like, there's artists who specialize in that sound now,
Uh,
who that's their lane, and you should check them out. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What actually motivates you, to keep going? Because there's been many times where it looked like, shit was going down. Like I remember there was
Yeah.
a time where I felt like, Kimo might stop making music, because there were times where it felt like that, where
No, I
he would
feel
throw in
you.
the towel. And also like these days, the modern days, like social media engagement is kind of important for artists, kind of
Mm,
important for artists, retweets, likes, and all that shit. Now,
right.
you don't get that much as, our Lane and all these people get. So what motivates you to keep going besides all of that?
Are you aware of that? There's this photo, bro. I don't know. It was doing the rounds a couple of years ago of Black Coffee, Zakes Bandrini, and someone else
Oh
in like
yeah, yeah,
this
no,
in this small like
yeah,
container or
in the
whatever,
it was
in
sitting.
small apartment.
Yeah.
or something else. Yeah, in a hostel, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, bro. Look at Black Coffee now. Look at Zex Bantwini and all those guys. Like
Yeah.
it didn't happen overnight. You know what I'm saying? And you
Yeah.
saw where they were coming from. So that photo, bro. Like, not saying that that's my main motivation, but like something like that to be like, yeah, remember that. It's like folks don't always know what's happening behind the scenes.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like they just see what they see, like with Abo Elaine and everything. You'll just see Elaine, the shining star. You don't know
Mm.
how she got that bright, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying whatever, I'm just saying there's different way, like there's ways to succeed, you know what I'm saying? Now, myself, going back to the Gresham thing, I could have found myself in a similar situation because I
Mm.
had the backing, and the
Yeah.
support, which is essentially all I needed, but I didn't have the right attitude at the time. Because
Mm.
I mean, I was like, I didn't trust nobody. I'm like, these motherfuckers are just like waiting to, screw me over once they get the opportunity. So I was always, you know what I'm saying, in
Yeah.
that sort of space, and I reacted accordingly.
Mm.
But wait, is it still the Zex? Is it still the
Yeah.
motivation question?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, bro. Like, um, I mean, all these like the people in that photo, bro. You'll ask them all the time. You see them how they're shining now, bro. Black Coffee and whoever. You know what I'm saying? And it's almost like they made it yesterday. That's what it
Mm.
seems like when you see when the success is there. They say, my mother always says, like, once things are proper and the season is fine, it's almost like you forget about the bad times, like
Yeah.
you forget it even happened or that you even went through that. You know what I'm saying? So I've just been fortunate in the sense that, like, in what I've been doing during my grind to when I get to that point, because I am gonna get there. That's what
Yeah. You
motivates me,
deserve it,
knowing,
bro. Out of all
you
people,
know
like
and
you really deserve it. You really
no,
do.
I appreciate it, bro. So the thing that motivates me is knowing that, that's my destiny and my final goal,
Mm.
and if I stop and if I decide to quit before, there's that meme with the
Oh yeah,
digging
that
the
digging
digging
one.
for gold, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. Like a lot, and I've seen a lot of niggas who came up even before at the same time as me,
Mm.
they didn't continue, and like I said, to each his own, but I
Yeah.
mean, my thing has always been this music thing, and one of these days, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah, that's what motivates me. But that, you see, that photo in particular, whenever like I get a question like that, that's what comes into mind. The first
Yeah.
thing that it's like, the Pele in that picture, like the homies were so dark, like you couldn't even, they were unrecognizable, like as
Ah.
in things were that bad, dog, to the point where that. And I know the thing is, it was, I could relate to that feeling, because somewhere in the journey I've been at that point where it's like, yo, you can't even recognize a nigga to what he is now. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? And like all it just comes down to is, bro, like the final point I'm gonna make with this question is that people always say, like, if you want to like do something in your own lane, like really really start something, like, or do something really important, bro, think
Yeah.
about how long an elephant gestates, the gestation period of an elephant, how long it takes for an elephant to give birth versus a mouse,
Yeah.
right? Then look at lifespan. How long is the elephant going to live versus a
Oh
mouse,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it's gonna take longer, but when it eventually does pop off, I want a long career, bro. I want to be like, on some fucking, who can I think of? Some baby face,
Mm.
fucking who else, man? Some Usher shit, where I'm just there, I'm not going anywhere. Because before, behind the scenes, there was like, there's 10 years plus, maybe, or maybe 8 years. Wait, officially I've been in the industry since 2012. So that's about 9 years, just close to 10 years,
Yeah.
right? So from that 10 years, right? Um, that I put in, that was just putting in work, developing the sound, learning the industry by myself, mind you, because like I mean, even the fact that I missed yesterday's interview, there was no manager that could have been like, hey, Kimo,
Mm.
I'm the manager. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, bro, I'm working towards something, but you know, yeah, the hard work of building the house and the digging, they don't show that. They just show the front of the house looking
yeah,
clean. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
that's what motivates me, bro. Knowing that like this shit is mine already. It's just
yeah,
I wanted extra spice. I wanted extra saucy. I wanted with extra sauce and extra medium rare, not medium rare. What's the one where it's like where it's not raw? That's how I want my shit, dog. I want it to last. Yeah.
yeah.
To
And
answer your question.
do you also believe that maybe you're a victim of the times? Back then there wasn't that much focus on R&B and love on it. Like in these last 2 years, damn, bro, damn, like there's been so many R&B people that have come through. The girls have come through.
Mm,
Even the guys are coming through now. Even I interviewed
yeah.
some of them yesterday, but it's mostly the girls. But then, like, there's been so much attention that's been given. It's still small, but then it's bigger than what it used to be. Do you
You know
believe
what,
that
bro?
you're a victim of the
Art,
times back then?
nah, bro. I believe in accountability. Like, first of all, the thing with R&B is that R&B is one of the biggest music genres in the world,
Hmm.
right? Like globally, in Africa, right there with reggae, and
Yeah,
reggae being the top one, and then I think hip hop is somewhere there in R&B, but R&B is within those top regions, so it's always gonna pop. My thing is, it's just like, yeah, bro, like let me put it into perspective for you, right?
oh,
Since we already used Elaine for comparison, let's use her for as comparison, right?
use who?
So I mean, like, Elaine,
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah,
yeah, let's use her for comparison, right? We don't know. We know only what we know, right? In terms of like just what, so we can't make assumptions. But what I can tell you is that, the amount of support you have for not just with any business. If you're trying to start
mm.
like a shirt business or something like that, you're gonna sell more shirts and be more visible if you've got like a whole team of people, even if it's your parents,
Oh
if
yeah.
it's whoever, people who just believe in what you can do,
Mm.
what you want to do, and are willing to, contribute to that success.
Mm.
Nah, bro, not only did I not have support from anyone, but I also went against people telling me, no, don't do this music thing. Find
Mm.
something else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But regardless, since I was the only one who was saying yes, um, I want to do this, while everyone is like, no, you're
Yes.
not gonna do this. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
It took me longer because now no one is giving me the resources to learn
Right.
that, okay, this is how this works. All this shit I have to figure out myself. So kudos to me for
Yeah.
what I've managed to figure out on my
Right.
own, and what I've managed to do. You know what I'm saying? Now versus somebody, not even referring directly to Elaine as such, but like just anybody who's able to be more visible and do more stuff in the industry,
Mm.
whether they have the luxury of being the artist. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Whereas now I've had to be the artist, the producer, the manager, the label,
Mm.
the graphics design guy, the merch guy, the manager for other artists,
Mm.
the A&R, the road manager when I used to tour. Basically, I've had to be all those things
Everything.
because I didn't come to Joburg with like an entourage of family members or whatever who are like, all right, cool, dog. If you need me to do this, I'm gonna
Yeah.
do this. When I got to Joburg, you know what I did? First thing I did was I set up shop. I opened
Yeah.
up the studio wherever I was staying so that I could feed myself. At number
Mm.
one to survive. You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
So yeah, bro. Like, I guess if anything, I'm a victim of lack of support
Yeah.
from the jump, because my parents didn't give a fuck about this music shit. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I was the old, and as a result, it was just about like going against a lot of things,
Yeah.
So what that says, it's not all doom and gloom though, because
Mm.
with everything that I've learned, bro, I've equipped myself to not only do shit for myself, but also for other people and other artists,
Yeah.
such as a Thato Fields. You might not see it just because, like I said, like you said, social media is all about showing. That's what it is, right?
Mm.
But I mean, you wouldn't look. I mean, from social media won't tell you that I managed to get that Tato Fields, who's signed to my label,
Yeah.
is an artist who's on radio, is an artist who has a music video out,
Yeah.
is an artist who was performing before this whole COVID thing, is an
Yeah.
artist who was doing all the artist things that, and people were looking at him like, yeah, you're on your way, kid. And
Yeah.
that's from work of somebody who, what can I say, who earned his stripes in the industry. So
Mm.
not to make it a thing, but just to tell you that like the reason why I'm not where people think I should be is because it's not even a matter of like, oh, woe is me, whatever, but it's just a matter of, it's a matter of when, bro. It's not a matter
Yeah.
of if. I guess there's just some kinks and stuff that need to be worked out of the machine. But once the machine is running the way that it's
Yeah.
supposed to, you're gonna see.
Definitely.
That much I can tell you. Yeah.
Yeah. And talking about Elaine, like I want to add to it. Like I remember
Sure.
the first time I heard about her, I think it was late 2019. Late
Mm,
2019, I think maybe August or something like that. And my other friend, this other friend of mine, so she was friends or went to high school with Elaine's manager. This was before, she everybody started to know her and stuff like that. So she was friends
right.
with the manager. And there was this, artist that she used to post. Who's this Elaine? So I decided to check her out. And like one of the things about her, and you talked about support, is that her friends, you know, friends were always posting her music. And the thing is, what you're saying about support is very true because
True,
she
bro.
she
In
had that
every in
support
every
and
motion
it
of
shows.
business. Yeah.
Yeah. Like she had that
So with
support.
me, in my case, I was trying to make is that like I feel like if anything, I was in the worst case scenario,
Oh,
but it's not an excuse to say that because I wasn't supported, now shit is taking longer. Because like on the bright side, I managed to learn like, the ropes, albeit the hard way, but
yeah.
at least I'm not, I'd never wanted to find myself like in a situation where, I'm clueless
Yeah.
about the industry that I'm in,
Yeah.
and I guess, the man upstairs just felt like the best way I would learn, especially given like my stubborn nature,
Mm,
is in the trenches, in the field.
yeah.
So yeah, man, like I appreciate my struggle. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Does your
Yeah.
mother support you now? Because in Live from the Basement, you talked about, your parents were not about that shit. Even yeah.
Um, hey man, like you know what I think it is with my mother. Like
Oh,
I feel like so I just feel like she's at this point in time, she's aware, like, okay, I mean, this guy at this stage of the game, he's not gonna go looking for a job and whatever,
ah,
and like change. This is who I am,
mm,
and I get it. Like from where she's from and her upbringing, it's like I wouldn't want a son like me, first of
yeah.
all, especially if I was my mother. But at the same time, with being a mother, bro, remember that's that unconditional love. So you love your kids
Mm,
no matter what they do.
yeah.
And for like I also understand it's hard to support something that you don't understand. Because like my
Mm,
mother doesn't know I think she knows that one song, Wolves. That's the only song that my mother knows. You know what I'm saying? That's
yeah.
because like East Coast Radio was like bumping it. Shout out to East Coast Radio for that.
Yeah.
But even though it wasn't my song, but I digress. Anyway, like with her, I feel like yeah, bro, she's just glad as long as it makes me happy. It's that kind of situation. Like, I mean, I won two gospel awards last year via Zinzi,
Yeah.
and my mother's like into like, gospel and stuff. I told her about it and she was like, oh, like I don't know how to react, but
Uh,
I would imagine it's a good thing. It's just like, yo,
yeah.
ah, two not two awards in your genre, and
Uh,
that's all you give me. You're not serious. But anyway, like, I don't, I don't feel any ways about it. It's just like,
yeah.
she's doing what she can with what she's been given in the terms of, what I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also feel like with black parents, they support when you make it. They support when the
You
money is
know, I
coming in.
that is the common thing, and that's true. But like, you see, in my case, like, you see, my mother's like, hey man, I could go on and on about my mother. My mother's my best friend,
Yeah.
right? So I know she would never like, be on some like, on some flip shit. But with her, like, I feel like she doesn't know how, especially like, what, bro? It's because it's also not like I make it easy. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
For her to be like, oh wow, so this is good, right? Like, like this is the thing that, you know what I'm saying.
Uh,
Just because of also the experiences or the experience I've had in the industry, it hasn't necessarily been like a positive one throughout,
mm,
like whereas opposed to someone in a different world, you can bring like certain milestones. Hey, so this and that
mm,
happened, and then you guys have like a sort of a middle point to be like, oh, okay, I understand this. I wouldn't even know where to start with my mom. You know what I'm
uh,
saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, and it's okay like that because at least she's not she's not discouraging it,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and
Y-
she's doing what she can. So, I really appreciate her for what she does,
Yeah. And
you
then
know.
what do you regret? Do you have any regrets?
What in terms of,
Anything actually, but more in
yo,
terms
I
of
have
your
plenty,
career.
I'd like, no, actually, I don't because
Yeah.
everything, like I said, bro, everything's happening to lead me towards my destiny.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I can't regret lessons, that the important lessons, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, bro. If anything, I have too much to be grateful for
Mm,
to like be regretting any of my experiences or anything, But
yeah.
that's not to say that there's the asinine shit that I have done, and that I still, But I've atoned, for
Mm,
what I can atone for, and that's just life, bro. Life is about taking responsibility, like I
yeah.
mentioned before, like, because all of this, every single thing, like, you know has been, um you know has been from, what can I say, choices that, fuck it, whatever we were talking about before. So I
Yeah.
forgot,
Yeah.
I lost track of the
Yeah.
I lost track of where I was going with that. But as far as regrets, bro, no, like, yeah, as cheesy and whatever as it sounds, like, those are the things that really like helped shape me, like whether it be the music, whether it be, my ability to run Kimosabe Productions,
Yeah.
and just all those things. It was like that's how I had to learn and earn my stripes. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And I'm like, for that, like I said, I'm grateful, man. I mean, shit. I'll tell you something else. When when you were telling me about like your homie who went in the, called the label and stuff like that. The thing with me is, bro, like, I live in my own world, right?
Mm,
I don't know if you've seen, like, I guess very similar to Lil Wayne in the way that he is like in his own sort of zone. I totally get it.
yeah.
And as a result, like, a lot of things slip our radar that would otherwise be on the top of other people's radars. Like, I didn't know people, I had like friends like that,
Yeah.
like as into the point where it's like, for real, bro. Like people surprise me all the time. Like I remember I changed the master of I uploaded a different version of the Days EP, right?
Yeah.
And this I don't even know what the appropriate term is anymore because of 2021, but this lady, whatever, this
Yeah.
person on Twitter, they called me out on it. I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you doing listening to my shit? You know what I'm saying? It's like it's like that, bro, because we get tricked by like the numbers and all
Mm,
those things, and it's like you see what blue ticks and all that other nonsense. But
mm,
now, it's just like that's another thing that I had to wake up to and realize that, hey, dude, there's people who are listening to your shit. Get
mm,
your shit together. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's been my mission, bro, like since um ever since whenever, I think literally ever since this whole COVID thing started,
yeah.
I was like, okay, it's time to this time, it's all or nothing. If things don't work out, which at this stage I'm not even, that's not even a consideration. I'm not considering that as a
Yeah.
possibility. But if things, God forbid, things don't work out, then it's my fault. I didn't do
Mm,
enough, or I didn't put in the effort that I was supposed to, and someone more deserving put in the effort and they got it. You know what
mm,
I'm saying? So yeah, bro, like things like those that like surprised me, and I had to get to those realizations from these experiences. So that's why I have no, I don't have any regrets.
yeah.
None.
I'm glad. And plug me with what you're doing right now. Like, what are you doing? Who are you working with? Like
Uh
everything that you're doing, just say it out. What are you gonna do next month? Next month, next year?
Now you asked at the right time because we're getting ready to roll. So I actually just got the photos back right now. We're preparing for this new single.
Yeah,
Hope I was hoping to drop it second week of this month.
yeah.
At this point, I'm at the mercy of the what you call this thing, the DSPs.
Oh yeah.
So if not second week of this month, maybe round about the week of the 20th.
Okay.
Got some shit dropping, and then from there, it's just gonna be like consistent, like music, man. What I'm working on right now is actually it's Kimosabe and Thato Fields joint sort of
Project.
situation.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we're starting out with like some singles, but like we're in studio almost every other week,
Mm,
putting down tracks. We've got like plenty in the vault, so we're just like choosing the right ones,
yeah.
taking the pictures for them, and then just like putting that out. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of singles that are coming out, branching out into some collaborations, like
Yeah.
with more of like people within our field. It's about time. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I've got some that are already done, still in the hip hop world, but it's like some other dope shit. Um, yeah, Shabzi will reveal that, but I'm really
Yeah.
digging that joint. And then for the rest of the time, bro, like uh, I'm scoring movies. Um, what else am I doing? I'm mixing artists. So my life's an adventure, bro. Like
Yes.
that's another thing that I'm grateful for, is that it's just that the way that I am, um, even with social media is not my forte,
Oh
as
yeah.
I'm sure we've already established. I don't be out there sharing like that kind of stuff. Now that's not who I am. I'm living in the moment. Sometimes I can't even find my phone.
Yeah.
But if I was on that shit, like for real, like hey man, you'd be surprised that like the shit that happens over at Kimosabe Productions. It's
Yeah.
like it's a different world. Let me
Yeah.
just put it to you like that. But yeah, it's like the main thing, Tata Fields and myself, and then he's also gonna be releasing solo. Then I'm probably not gonna directly follow up with a solo thing, but I am like A&Ring, so I'm looking for like to build the stable, get more artists, get them out. You know what I'm saying?
I.
But yeah, I'm on that too, bro. I wear many hats. That's another
Yeah.
thing. It's a blessing and a curse. But if I'm good for it, I'm fortunate that I'm packing an i7 or i9 or whatever
Yeah.
upstairs. But I've gotten to the point where like uh you know I'm like there's a lot that I'm taking on, and I'm working on building the team. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah.
also trying to let go of like my own personal demons. I know I've mentioned earlier, like with my attitude, bro, trying
Yeah.
to get that right. You know what I'm saying? So that I can work properly with people, trust people to like, okay, get a lieutenant there to take care of things so that I can, lift, some of the weight off my shoulders. But these are things that we work on as, as men and that kind of
People.
thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, bro, that's what I'm working on. So before the end of this month, there's definitely gonna be some new music coming out of the Kimosabe Productions camp.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I've got
So
some dope collaborations,
yeah.
also some stuff I can't talk about. But
Right.
yeah, man, it's exciting, it's like it's really big.
So are
Yeah.
you open to maybe being managed or something? Because you talked about, getting the load off your shoulders a bit.
You know what? That's something that that's kind of been my sort of, what can I say, the elephant in the room in a lot of my things.
Mm.
That representation. I've always felt like, you know, um when yeah, man, like I've always felt like, or rather I've always been told that like that manager, even the term manager, like to be realistic with you, bro, like um how can I put it to you? Like as far as management, right?
Mm.
That I can manage, from what I've seen, like to the point where I'm able to manage, like I said, even other artists and that kind of thing.
Mm.
What I've really needed, it goes down to the crux of the matter, is like that support. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm.
even from a ground level, like a manager these days, like your favorite artist as a manager is probably their best friend or someone that they went to school with, who believed in
Oh yeah.
them, who believes in them more than they do, or believes in what they're pushing, where even when the artist doesn't believe in it at times, which happens as artists, right? So, going back to like my situation, bro, like, you know what it was? It was a combination of, hating ass niggas, in the sense
Oh,
of like, I remember growing up, yeah, like I remember growing up where I was growing up, like there was a lot of jealousy, dog, because I was so fucking awesome.
mm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like people could, no, for real, like people couldn't stand it, made them sick to their stomachs, gave them stomach ulcers, that
Mm.
this motherfucker is out here in the streets shooting music videos. Where have you seen a what does this nigga know about music? What is this nigga studio? Like I
Yeah.
was there, bro, 15 years old. I'm there. There's a queue of people outside my mother's house. Ask about me, nigga.
Yeah.
Like queue of people coming to record at my studio, right?
Yeah.
To the point where the school I was going to, right, they made sports compulsory.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing. Ugombe even knew that so that like then let's leave him to go and get his money. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So yeah, bro, it's never been a matter of like um not being able to oh yeah, it's just that niggas have always hated, so there's never been somebody who's like believed in me like 100%, where they're like genuine with their heart, the way that I believe in Thato feels, and any
Mm.
artist that I've ever, where it's genuine, where it's not like, yeah, out of this, this person's gonna make me rich or a superstar. Fuck that. The problem is the motherfuckers that I surrounded myself with were always about jealousy, bro. Niggas wanted to
Yeah.
kill me, bro. I was a teenager. Motherfuckers wanted to kill me because I was on fire. Yeah, they never seen it before. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I
It's
was
new.
something that they'd never seen. But the thing is, with me, stupid me, now I was out in the streets all the time, So
Oh
naturally,
yeah.
niggas would see me and just be disgust. Like, look at this fly ass motherfucker, rocking all this shit. Like, this
Yeah.
nigga's making money. He's taking his girlfriends out on dates. I think I introduced the concept of taking a girl out. Okay, maybe I'm pushing it, but like that's what I used to do. But I was told, like, when when you're dating someone, you
Yeah.
literally have to take them out on a date. And I was
Yeah.
a young money making nigga. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So naturally, that was the way that you get what I'm saying, bro. So
Yeah.
it's like, um, yeah, it's like one the main thing that I need, is support. And unfortunately, this isn't something like, obviously where you can just like, where you create it. It's something that's like, people either love you or they don't. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, bro. Like there's strangers out there, and I refer to them as strangers only because I haven't met them, much like yourself,
Yeah.
who, feel a way about what I do and appreciate what I do. And I really appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? So there is that. I'm not what's negating that support,
Uh,
but like I said, from a grassroots level, bro.
yeah.
Everyone, man, if I was like LA, bro, like, and I had like my family, like, and my
Yeah.
friends, if I had friends, pushing me
Shit.
and being like, yo, this nigga's the shit, instead of hating on me,
Mm.
bro, we'd be having a different conversation, bro. But motherfuckers just wanted to hate on me. That's all they wanted to do. All
Mm.
of them, my so-called friends, well, who happen to also be musicians. First mistake.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
get yourself musician friends. But anyway, because now it's like, everybody sees me as a come up because I'm the dopest motherfucking
Yeah.
vocal engineer and producer. It's like, yo, this guy is gonna get us out of our shitty lives and into like the spotlight. Fuck
Mm.
that. You know what I'm saying? It's just Kimosabe Productions that I'm rocking with now and
Yeah.
forever, man. Shout out to my nigga Thato Fields is coming in hot.
Yeah.
Like let me tell you something about Thato Fields, bro. A lot of people wonder, like, what is like, why this guy? You know what it is?
Mm.
I've been wanting to say this. It's like in life sometimes, especially in what I was going through, right?
Yeah.
During lockdown, he was at my crib. We were just recording just willy-nilly. So now when he was there, like we ended up getting trapped there at my place, so to speak, my old place during
Mm.
lockdown. During that time, bro, like, this guy was like just, getting me out of bed, so to speak, like
Yeah.
when there's times where I'm like, fuck this music shit, I'm gonna sit in bed and watch the series, right?
Mm.
Like I don't feel like pushing. He'd be like there at my door, like, you know what I'm saying? Just like,
Yeah.
it's like, yo, get up, man. Like, I know this isn't you. You've got the power, bro.
Mm.
Like I'm putting myself, now it's not just you, now it's us. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And that's what I needed from the jump, bro. And that's the kind of, you see, it comes like that. It's not something that I actively sought. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it came in that form. So just from that one extra person, we've managed to, you've seen that we've managed to do, like, make a little bit of noise, nyana,
Yeah.
from the ground, starting from but there's that little thing of just that support, bro. And it's a problem. It's not just a problem that I've experienced, right? It's a problem with black people, man.
Yeah. A
That thing of
lot.
fucking hating on a nigga, like, yes, sis, I hate that shit. Like, why can't you just help somebody fucking make it? Then you can all be like, is it so painful to see somebody else being successful? Like, I don't know what it is. Do we have, like, as niggas, do we have like a pain receptor in our fucking assholes or
Yeah.
something like that? Where when you see somebody that's doing good, who looks like you, so you'd rather see somebody who doesn't look like you, not making it a race thing 2021,
Mm.
because you know how shit is in this motherfucker. But you'd rather see somebody who doesn't look like you and be like, yo, you see that?
Yeah.
Watching. But then when it's your own people, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Yeah.
also what I want to achieve with Kimosabe Productions, bro. I want to get, you know, talented black kids and, give them the support that I never got. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And then show the world what happens. This is what happens when you stop being fucking assholes and you just, you push another person,
Yeah.
I don't know this nigga from a bar of soap, in the sense I've only known Tato, like, well, before that we started working together. I'd known him for like 4 years or something like that, and
Yeah.
I'd see him once in a blue moon, right? But we out here, we're like this because we've got a career that we're pushing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because we're supporting each other. You know what I'm saying? In whatever way possible. And yeah, bro, like, no one needs a manager. Nobody needs, like, you just need people who want you to win. That collective energy of wanting, success. That's why you get at the award shows, a nigga going there and thanking 50 different people because he
Yeah.
knows without those people, one man, you wouldn't even be in that building.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, bro? So yeah, I'm in a difficult situation because it's that Kimosabe Lone Ranger shit. But it's also because like I never, made any good friends. So I've had to start from scratch. That's all it is, just a temporary setback. But you'll see, man, you'll see a nigga pulling up 10 deep with the bunch of I don't even know what the squad is gonna be looking like, but
Yeah.
you'll just know. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. That's what it
Wow.
is, though.
This is a very insightful interview. I actually never thought this would ever happen or even meet you. So like, I'm actually very glad I finally got
Ah,
the.
we haven't even met, bro. This is like I said, this is like there'll come a time, I'll holler
Yeah, they
at you, bro,
will.
and
Yeah,
we'll link up
definitely
and
will.
proper meeting. But I
Yeah,
enjoyed this, bro. It was cathartic for me as well. Like I never get the opportunity to speak, you know what I'm saying, and like speak my truth, and so
yeah,
like so candidly, you know what I'm saying. Usually the
yeah,
only thing that speaks is the work and that
yeah,
kind of thing. Like a lot of people won't even tell you, nigga, I got awards. What? Who? Little Kimosabe,
yeah,
Whereas, people would be looking at it like, oh, who's this guy? Whatever, whatever. And that's the problem with the entertainment industry and just the media industry, or in fact, just what the media has done as a whole. You know what
mm,
I'm saying? It's just like it's distorted everything, bro. But like here's the thing, like when you're doing something and when you're working on something delicate and like proper, do
mm,
you really want people to see it so that they can put their negative energy on it and then
mm,
make your shit not work out? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I'm in the bro, just trust and believe that like I'm glad Instagram because like what do you call this thing? I'm busy, dog. Like I'm working on something bigger than Instagram, bigger
yeah,
than social media. And like I said, bro, going again, I must reiterate that since you asked that question, like I regret nothing because if it wasn't for all that shit, I wouldn't be I wouldn't be, Kimosabe, dog.
yeah,
Yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
yeah, that's no, I appreciate the opportunity, like I said, to have my say.
The story. Yeah, thank you so much,
Yeah.
man. Well, this is
No, thanks a lot,
I'm
bro.
honored too. You're able to join this the House of Soul. So thank you so much. So this
No,
is
keep doing what you're doing, bro.
thank you, bro. So this is the
Yeah.
okay. I'm even confused right now. I think it's the eighth or the ninth episode. I've been doing so much. This is seventh or eighth or ninth episode of the breakdown. Legends Corner, Gold Corner with Kimosabe, Stu Amon, and we out.